Hi, I'm Jennifer Morris for Howdini. When a woman reaches menopause, is it really harder to lose weight, or does it just seem that way? We're here with Elizabeth Sommer, who is a registered dietitian and the author of 9 popular nutrition books, including Age Proof Your Body, something we would all like to do. Welcome, Elizabeth.
Nice to be here.
So what is it about menopause that causes weight gain?
Well, wait a minute. I think that's an assumption that begs to be questioned. Up until recently, the only women to study postmenopause were women that were sedentary. It's only been in the baby boom generation that we're starting now to get women that are vigorously active after menopause. And what we're finding is that those women don't necessarily gain weight, or at least not as much as we thought was inevitable. So I think this myth is beginning to be popped. We're finding that it's more about lifestyle than it is necessarily about body chemistry.
Now, this is good news. Now, does a woman's metabolism slow down after menopause, or does it stay the same? Or
well, a little bit of both. Actually, and it starts a lot earlier than menopause. Starting in our 30s, we begin trading muscle for fat.
I've noticed that.
Yes, at about a rate of about 1 to 2% loss of muscle every decade, which equates to about 5 to 10 pound muscle loss. As you lose muscle, that's the active tissue that burns calories even when you're sleeping, you start putting on the inactive tissue, the fat tissue, which doesn't require any calories at all to maintain. So by the time you hit menopause, you've got about 15, 20 years, unless you've been vigorously active, to start making this trade-off, losing the muscle, gaining the fat. So by the time you end up postmenopausal, you're saying, hey, my metabolism is slowed and I can't even look at food without gaining weight. It's actually been going on for quite a while. You're just starting to know the changes. But the good news is it's not inevitable.
Do some women, even though they diet and exercise and do all the right things after menopause, is it still not possible for them to lose weight?
Oh no, it's always possible to lose weight. It's just how big of a commitment are you willing to make?
Right.
If you think strolling the mall a couple of times a week is enough to get your exercise, you're going to possibly gain weight as you get older.
So does that mean you have to increase your exercise plan as you get older, or?
Well, you should have been increasing it all along, definitely. But once you start really noticing the weight gain, it becomes even more important, and for several reasons. Not just because of your vanity, not just because you don't want to be overweight as you get older, but also after menopause, one thing is sure, is a woman's risk for several diseases starts to go up. The biggest one being heart disease. Up to 1 out of every 2 women is going to be battling heart disease after menopause, a disease that is in many cases completely preventable if you just take charge of what you eat and how much you move.
Okay. How can we keep the pounds at bay, as we're approaching menopause?
Okay. Well, like I've already said, you need to be exercising. You need to do some kind of vigorous workout. If you're not exercising now, then start little. Start, 10 minutes of a brisk walk with the idea that you slowly will move up the scale until you're maybe doing 2 10-minute walks a day, then maybe 2 15-minute walks, and eventually over the course of a year, you've got it up to an hour of vigorous exercise most days of the week, say 5 days a week. You want to do a little bit of lifting of some kind, either join the gym or get a personal trainer, or if you just don't want to go to the gym, then lift milk jugs in your kitchen, but something to maintain your muscle mass, because as you lose that muscle mass, your metabolism is going to slow. Boosting your muscle mass will boost your metabolism. Then of course there's diet, and this, I think everyone knows what they should be eating. If you just focused on real food, ate at least 2 fruits and vegetables at every meal, and I'm not talking French fries and iceberg lettuce, but rather spinach and carrots and apples and oranges and kiwi and those kinds of things, sweet potatoes, focus more on whole grains, less on refined grains.
What is an example of a refined grain versus a whole grain?
Well, a whole grain would be 100% whole wheat bread, brown rice, old-fashioned oatmeal, those kinds of things, whereas a refined grain is anything else.
Okay.
That makes it kind of easy. And then, of course, you've got to watch portions. Get the scale out, get the measuring cups out. A serving of that pasta should be half a cup to a cup, not 8 cups. A serving of meat should be 3 to 4 ounces, not a 16-ounce steak. So portion sizes are going to be important.
If you're out and about, is there anything you can do on the fly for portion control to sort of eyeball something? Do you have any little tips for that?
Well, a serving of meat should be the size of a deck of cards or the palm of a woman's hand.
Okay.
A serving of pasta should be no bigger than your fist.
Okay.
Vegetables, you can't get enough vegetables.
Just keep them coming.
Pile them on. Just make sure that they're steamed, raw, grilled. They're not battered and fried or sautéed in butter. Salad. The bigger the salad, the better, as long as it's all lettuce and carrots and the dressings on the side.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Elizabeth.
Sure.
I'm Jennifer Morris for Howdini.